and welcome back to the Caffeinated Mammal Compilation Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Fox, and on this episode, we have my buddy Drew from Snare Crash. We talk about corporate life versus creative life, a pretty cool guitar story, and we talk a lot about our buddy Matthew Schwartz. And then he also does a performance of his song, Art Department Parties.
Are we rolling?
We are rolling.
All
right, so today we're in the studio with Drew Montgomery from Snare Crash.
Yeah, I like the
You
drums.
can't say your band name either.
No,
and
it's hard, but I just always say it's like the drums. You got the kick drum, snare drum, and the crash. So kick, snare, crash.
Yeah. Earlier when I was trying to write it down and you said something, you said it in a different order.
I did.
Yeah.
Because I was overthinking it for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I was underthinking it. Yeah. So, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks
for
man.
hanging.
I'm stoked to be here.
It's been we've hung out a little bit today already. We went and got some coffee and some food.
We did.
Got to catch up and hang out, which we were talking earlier. Like, we've spent some time together here and there, and we've communicated online quite a bit.
Yes.
And, but it's always been all business.
It's all business. Yeah.
All
so
business.
This is different. I mean, it's kind of a mix, though. We're doing a mix of
this
business.
is a little bit of business, a little bit of pleasure.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot of bit of pleasure if you
never
play
know.
your cards right.
Yeah. I better do a good job.
I winked, but you couldn't. You couldn't hear.
I couldn't even see the wink from here. There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
You got to exaggerate it a little bit. So, tell me about Snare Crash.
What do you want to know?
I don't know. I already know that this band exists. Tell our listeners, our listener,
The listener,
our single listener,
yes, the listener out there. Hello. Okay, so Snare Crash is. It's kind of it's not a long story, but it kind of originated when I was living in Johnson City, Tennessee, and a few friends of mine that I was playing at a church with at the time. We just started writing some stuff together and felt like we should do a little project, so we did. And I just like, I kind of had the name Snare Crash mulling around in my head before this, thinking that kind of a cool band name. So I was like, well, yeah, let's do it and let's call it this. And so we did. And we were just like a 3-piece, but we were doing we had some tracks playing. And so we did like a few shows and they were cool, fun shows. And then it just kind of fizzled out. I was in the process of looking to move to Greenville, South Carolina, sort of at the tail end of when we were starting to.
Where are you at the time?
Yeah, we were in Johnson City at the time.
Did you say that already?
I did, but that's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
so
that habanero chip that you gave me is still
it's spicy.
burning on my tongue, and so I've been like,
you're welcome.
Trying to water myself a little bit. You were like, these are really spicy. Do you want them? And I'm like, I should have clocked that you did not want them.
Because I like spicy, don't get me wrong, but those, I was like, I also just grabbed a bag of chips from the thing, and it's just because it looked cool.
The bag did look cool. It's like
so
a lady
I didn't realize
this bunch of flames on it.
I didn't realize the reality of that chip was going to burn my mouth.
None of those flames were an indicator that this
none of the flames, and
chips.
the fact that it has the word revenge on it.
And it says hot habanero just in tiny words.
Yeah, that's very, I didn't even see that.
Anyway, sorry, I derailed.
Okay, so spicy chips,
Spicy chips, Johnson City to Greenville.
Yes, so we were in Johnson City, and then I moved to Greenville, and at this point, we had 2 kids, and they were both relatively young. One was in just starting school, and the other one was about 3. So, I had young kids. So I kind of derailed from music for a while. Not necessarily altogether, but definitely from playing shows or doing anything major with music. I was writing and kind of even at that point barely recording. And then I guess about 2018, I started really writing again, and I was passing them back to a friend of mine who I'd never played in bands with, but we worked together in an agency. He ran an agency that I was working as a graphic designer at, and just knew he was a great musician, a great drummer, a great guitar player, and a good friend. His name is Marcus. He's still with us.
In
this world. He's still with us in this world. He doesn't necessarily. He's not really in Snare Crash at this point, but
he still exists.
He exists, and he's a good man.
I'm glad he still exists.
He's a good man, very good man, and very talented.
And thorough.
So I started sending him ideas, and he was like, "Well, let's record these." He's like, "I can record drums at my house." And at this point, it was very primitive. Like he had some whatever access to whatever shitty mics he had. Same for me. I had access to whatever shitty mics I had, and a pirated version of Logic at the time. I have it now for legit, so it's good. It's good.
I won't tell if you won't, man.
I mean, nobody's going to hear this anyways. So we started doing this whole, like, I would lay out a song idea. He would go lay down drums, and then I'd come back in and flesh my parts out. He would play guitar parts. Because, like I said, he's a way better musician than I am, hands down. I mean, he can fucking drum like a beast, fucking play guitar like a beast. It's just, he's one of those guys you kind of get mad at because he's just so damn good at everything.
I know some of those people.
So we put together one little EP. It was called Volume 1, something about science. Now my brain's not remembering exactly what it was called. Secret Life of Science. So we tracked this little EP, put it out. Just, I got DistroKid and did the whole thing, We'll release these. Nobody's going to hear them anyways, which is pretty much the way it's been. So we did that EP, and then right before COVID, we did another little EP called Volume 2, Life Before the Fall. And that EP showed a growth because he had, between the time we recorded the first EP and the second EP, had kind of bought some new gear. It wasn't necessarily just for us, but he was wanting to get more into recording, and eventually he opened up a recording studio for a little bit. What he recently closed down, but so it was the same thing, bouncing tracks back and forth, and we just had we worked well together, and musically he knew where I wanted to go with things, and I was kind of like the sole songwriter of. But I play in such a way, whenever I'm showing him something, I play very percussively, so he's very intuitive to pick that up, and when he's doing the drums, to know this is what the drums need to be.
That's good.
So it was a very easy, situation. We just, it was really no delusion of whatever we were going to do with it. At the time, it wasn't even going to be a thing. We weren't going to play shows. We weren't going to, we were just having fun. And then, just after COVID, and at this point now my kids are older, I feel like I get a little bit more time that I could maybe look at trying to do something. Definitely didn't want to go back to really having a full-time band situation where I had to worry about 4 or 5 other people's schedules and top of my schedule.
Sure.
I'm just not interested in that. So I started doing a lot more solo shows. And then through the process of that, I met Matthew Schwartz, and he is doing a podcast with Aaron Sprinkle. And one of the early episodes, he said something about, hey, if anybody's doing any music out there, you want to collaborate or whatever, blah, 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 just reach out to me. So I was like, you know what? I'll reach out. He sounded like a cool person on the podcast. I didn't know who he was,
He's the best.
I love him. He's like become one of my best friends.
Yeah, I've known him for a long time. He's been on this show, actually.
Yeah, and I'm a bad friend, and I haven't listened to that one, but I'm going to listen to it on my way home.
What a dick.
Yeah, I'm a dick. But, so we just started kind of going back and forth conversationally about, what he was, obviously he has Pacifico, and he was running this little label that he was releasing his own stuff, and at this point was getting ready to release the Aaron Sprinkle Certainty project. And so, I was like, well, I would love to do a release with Pacifirecords, whatever that would look like.
Yeah.
And so, because I'd shared some of my music with him, and he fell in love with some of the songs and really enjoyed what I was doing with Kick Snare Crash at the time. And so we just kind of struck up a friendship first and foremost.
Yeah, he's the sweetest. A really easy guy to get a friendship with.
He's such a sweet person.
Yeah.
And
though if you go back and listen to that episode on your way home today, you'll hear about how I thought he was a complete dick when I met him.
Well, no, you're not wrong. When you first, if you first meet him, and even as a friend sometimes, and he'll admit this, so I'm not saying anything, Matthew, you do not know, because I'm sure he'll be our listener, that he has times where he can just be that way. We all can. And I can too.
We all can. I'm about to flip into
But I never admit
now.
to it. That's the thing. I don't admit to it.
I'm going to be a dick
He
for
does.
the rest of this episode. Just for fun.
Please. And so I was at a point to where I was like, I want to start doing some shows, but I really only wanted to do like solo shows, just me and my guitar up and play. And so Matthew came to my house. We were already been kind of talking about things, and we did a little house show back in January, I guess, of 2021 or 2020. I don't. It might have been 2020, somewhere in that vicinity.
Right before the vid.
It was right after. It was right as COVID was kind of lifting a little bit, and people could kind of gather a little bit. Because it was post, like masks were kind of falling off people's faces at this point. So, we did this house show. We started really talking more about a record and what that would look like, what songs we want to do. Because I already had a batch of songs. I'd sent him like probably 30 or 40 songs that I had phone recordings of. And we picked a handful of those at this time. So this would have been back before 2000. Yes, but maybe it's 2021 into 2022. Because we started tracking these songs that... we'll talk about a little EP that's coming out back in 2022, 3 years ago to where we are, in this time of the year.
Yeah, sure.
So we tracked these songs to prepare for what was going to be at that time a full-length record. But it just kind of took a nosedive just because scheduling and things like that. And the studio that we were recording it with, my friend Marcus was running, was getting busier. And I was in Greenville. Studio was in Johnson City, and Matthew's in Atlanta. So it was just like this. It was kind of a clusterfuck of trying to get everything organized to really make it happen.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, it kind of, we put everything on hold for just a while. So I guess, that kind of brings us to where we are now. I've been doing solo shows when I can. I've done a handful of full band shows with a group of guys I've kind of had the privilege of finding. And
you guys played my fest last year.
We did.
And you did the graphic work for or half the graphic.
I did.
Work
I did
you did the
text logo.
You did the text logo, and then my buddy Caleb did the drawing part.
Yeah.
And it blended perfectly.
Yeah, it was great. I loved that addition to it. So between obviously doing the graphic design work, freelance stuff, and the music stuff, so I was kind of just trying to keep myself in
Getting
a very
some art
creative
out
space.
In the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you also did my last batch of T-shirts, which turned out really well.
I did. I'm always looking to be in a creative space as much as I can. Even when I wasn't doing music, I was always working for an agency doing graphic work, or as a project manager for different things. But creativity is something that's always that's where I'm happiest.
Yeah,
when I can be creative.
I get that.
So that's where Kick, Snare, Crash kind of gave me that boost of creativity on the musical side of things. So
yeah, which so you mentioned you recorded this batch of songs like 3 years ago, and now they're coming out.
They're coming out August 1st.
Okay, cool. And it's 3 songs on this.
It's 3
EP.
songs.
And you did another micro EP.
I did a micro EP last year.
Not to be confused with the micro PP.
Not the micro PP, but some might say. So there was this label called Fairvox that reached out to me in February of 2024. It was because the day he hit me up, I was actually that morning going to go have knee surgery. So I was laid up for like 3 or 4 months last year from that. But he reached out to me, and we kind of struck up a friendship at the time. And so we did a co-release because I wanted Pacifirecords and Matthew to have involvement with it. I didn't feel right about just going off and doing something with somebody else altogether. So it's like, it's cool, we can do this, but it needs to be a collaboration.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want it to be any other way.
Yeah.
So we did it, and we put out this micro EP. I mean, it was really 3 songs I'd already released. We just kind of packaged them together.
Sure.
So it wasn't like it was kind of just a makeshift EP,
Gotcha.
really, essentially.
And then so this one that you're about to put out is kind of more intense.
These songs, people have probably heard some of these songs if they've seen me play live.
You're about to hear one.
Yeah, you are. So these songs, I'm so proud of these songs, and I'm so proud of the production. Matthew produced these songs, and worked together very hard on these songs, and I'm just happy as hell that they're going to finally see the light of day. So.
Yeah, and you sent those mixes to me a couple days ago, and they sound really good.
Yeah, thank you. Matt Tuttle, who is a friend of Matthew's, who's an amazing musician in and of itself, but he also is amazing at mixing and mastering. That's what he does is his first job.
Yeah.
And so he had
We're
mixed.
We're not going to name drop what band he's in.
Yeah.
That would be
what, code something or other?
Right.
Yeah. Well, code. There's a number, whatever that number is.
Yeah.
We're not going to give that away.
No.
Well, to kind of not backtrack because it's still current time, is Pacifirecords is putting out a tribute record to a band called Morellis Forest, and
you guys are on that.
We were on that, and Matt Tuttle mixed our track that we recorded for that. So that just came out so fucking great, and I was just. It really wasn't my idea to go back to have Matt Tuttle mix these tracks. Matthew was just like, "Hey, let's have Matt Tuttle mix." He kind of spearheaded getting it done.
Yeah, I've always had him in mind to master a project.
You would not be disappointed.
Yeah,
I mean, he's just.
I like to mix everything myself, but
yeah,
I generally send it out for masters.
Yeah,
not generally. Only once or twice. Prior
I would strongly recommend Matt Tuttle for that. He actually played drums for Pacifico when they played at the festival last year.
Yep, he did. And we were able to capture that instead of them doing it in studio because he wasn't available to come the next day when they did this. So we captured that performance.
Yeah.
And did the.
Well, that's going to be something that Pacifirecords is going to be announcing something about something related around that pretty soon.
Oh yeah, I've heard rumors.
And and so Matthew, I always want to say Matt, but it's Matthew. That's how I refer to him. Is what was I going to say? Oh wait, what was I saying?
I don't know, but I feel like we talked about Mr. Schwartz ad nauseum at this point.
Yeah, but he's a big part.
He is. That was just me pretending.
I forget what I was going to say though. Yeah, whatever. I guess I lost track. Okay. Where do you want to go now?
Let's talk. So this EP that you're coming out, you performed a song which we recorded before we got food. But it'll be at the end of this episode as it is structured. Talk about that song in particular.
Art Department Parties.
Art Department Parties.
So yeah, this will be the opening track as well as the single that we'll probably release. We're going to announce things on July 1st and then July 18th, I think, is when we'll hopefully... I don't know if we're going to release a single right away or I'll wait till the 18th because there's a lot of things that got to happen.
And this episode will be out somewhere between that. So
okay, perfect. So about the time you're hearing this is you'll hopefully have heard an announcement if you're following us on any of the social medias.
And I am.
We got one.
Yes,
we got one. So the song is a song I wrote because. Obviously, we've discussed I work in graphic design, and I've worked at agencies, and I got to a point in my life where I did not want to be involved in the corporate agency world anymore because
fuck that shit.
They want to overwork you and underpay you, and so that's what the song's called, Art Department Parties. So it's a song about an overworked, underappreciated graphic designer who really just wants to escape and get away. And,
right, what you know, right?
Yeah. But once you get away, you just kind of realize you're just going to get pulled right back into it. So it's just kind of like it's a fun song for me. I think you can relate to it if you're not a graphic designer. You can relate to it from whatever career path you're probably going into or are in currently. It's just that's the purview that I have is from that world.
I mean, it's the way Stephen King always writes characters that are writers. You write what you know.
Yes, you write what you know. But and generally, I don't write music and lyrics that way. Like usually it's very abstract.
Oh, mine are mostly really fucking personal.
As I was just listening to a podcast with what's his name, Aaron Marsh from Copeland, and he used the word salad. That's all kind of like a lot of times what my songs, they don't really you could probably find a meaning into them, and maybe if I dug deep into some of them, I could really find a meaning. A lot of times it's just word salad.
Cool.
I just want it to be emotional.
And you got to get your fiber in.
Yeah, you do. You do. I will keep you shitting. That's for sure. But
all right. So this song, tonally, and I was just you sent me the full band mix, but then listening to you playing it here, acoustic, it felt very different to me, like being in the room watching you play it. And I think the first half of the song has this very early Radiohead vibe, and then it just switches.
Yeah,
and it's a cool transition.
it's because you're right, because the Radiohead's what I was thinking for the first half of the song was very Radiohead, but then it kind of goes into like I don't really know what I would call it. It just, you wouldn't think.
I couldn't find a good comparison for that second half of it, but the first half of it, I'm like, it's this.
Yeah. I feel the same thing. I couldn't tell you what the second half of the song really gravitates to, but it just takes you on a different journey, and that's the way I like my songs to do. I like it to be simple, and this song's very simple, but it has some complexity too.
No, it may be simple, but it's the vibe of the song, the ambiance that you create, especially with that drastic change from part A to part B, works really well.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. It was. I wish I could say it was purposeful. I don't write that. I'm never one to sit down and say, "Oh, here's what I'm going to write."
Very
Very rarely. I've had occasions where I've had to do that for like somebody wants a song for something, so I've written it kind of to cater to that.
Sure.
But even at that, it's very just off the cuff, and it's very just I'm in the moment, and it's I'm just trying to capture what I'm capturing at that moment, and then so what I'm writing, it's just never thought out. Yeah. It's just I just go with the flow.
That's fair.
And
just let it come out.
Yeah.
So
stream of consciousness. Yeah. That's I was trying to get that in my head. What that
that's it. So when you pulled this guitar out of your case, and I kind of started admiring it, and you said, "We'll talk about that later." Like, all right.
Yeah. No. This okay. So if you are on following the Caffeinated Mammal socials, you'll see pictures of this guitar and me holding the guitar. I'll post them too on ours. But so this is I can't remember the exact year, but it's a 70s in that range. It's a Gibson Gospel acoustic guitar. So I still do at this particular time. I was doing more work for this company called Studio 15, and they're a film production company. They're actually it's Chris White and Emily White. They're the ones that wrote and produced that Electric Jesus movie. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Oh, yeah.
So this movie it's about these like kids in the 80s who are in this metal band, but they're a Christian metal band. The film's not like a Christian film. It's just it has Christian themes to it. And it's got some very well-known actors in this film. But all I have to say is this guitar was bought and used for that film.
Oh, cool.
And I still do work for them. Like I said, it was this time, and they're still good friends of mine. We just kind of I got busy. They kind of were been doing other things. So, I still do some things for them from time to time, but we were doing a music video for this song that Danielson, Daniel Smith from the band Danielson had written the songs for this film.
Oh, cool.
And he was doing a music video back in September of, not last year, 2 years ago, I think. And it was just kind of a way to revive the film, because when Electric Jesus came out, it was like COVID. So it didn't really, besides it going through and doing like the circuit of the different film festivals, it didn't get the proper like attention that it really should have received.
Sure.
So in a way to try to garner some more attention, we did a music video in Greenville, South Carolina, where Daniel Smith came in, and then we had a little actor known as Fred Armisen come and be in this music video.
That's very cool.
And I was working on the behind the scenes on the video, and my wife and I are both in the video. But all I have to say, this guitar was one that Daniel was playing in the video as well.
And you stole it from him?
No, Chris and Emily are like, hey, this guitar sits around. They don't play it. They're like, just take it. It's not really 100% mine. It's mine until they decide if and when they ever decide they want it back.
Yeah.
But they've trusted me with this guitar, and I love this guitar so much. In fact, it's because it is a Gibson acoustic. Never really played many Gibson acoustics, but now that's all I want. They're Gibson acoustics.
No, it's cool.
So I've got another Gibson too.
That's fair. No, it's such a cool guitar. The way it's
beautiful.
It's old and scratched up in all the right ways, and it's like the way it was catching the light. Like
it was bought at a thrift store.
What?
In Nashville.
What?
Yeah, they were filming. It was either Nashville. I think it was in Nashville, but they were filming in Atlanta. But they found this guitar at like a thrift store.
No, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's badass. I love this guitar so much.
I want to touch it.
You can.
Not right now, but
Oh, you can touch it
when we're off the air. Oh, yeah, man. So, what else? What else do you think we should know about you or this EP? Or
well, okay, I'm kind of backtracking because I kind of remember where I'd lost my train of thought talking about to bring Matthew back into the conversation.
Yeah. I know that guy.
And Pacifirecords.
I remember him.
Yeah, that guy. So a couple years ago, or maybe a year and a half ago, Matthew had asked me if I wanted to be a partner in the label, which only means I just help him make some decisions. I do a lot of the graphic work for the label anyways.
Yeah.
And so I'm just kind of there to help him. He is Pacifirecords, and it's his label.
Yeah.
But he asked me to become like a partner. So because of all that, I'm privileged to get, information that, we'll be sharing about a lot of things. But one thing I can share is I am in the process of working on a full-length record. We've started tracking. So
For KSC.
Yeah, for Kick Snare Crash. So we're doing a full-length record. It will be I don't have any time frame yet of when things are going to be released or anything like that, but we are probably, I would say, 60% through. I mean, we got all the songs laid out, most of the drum tracks laid out, minus some things that we need to kind of readdress some things within the drums, and just laying down some more vocals. I have a few songs that I just wrote that I'm adding to this record.
Okay.
That I've got to finish up a few things lyrically and things like that.
Sure.
But so we will have a record done. Hopefully, it will be done by maybe end of summer, done recorded, at least tracked.
Cool.
Then we're going to attempt a mix on our own.
Okay.
We've got somebody's kind of letting us borrow some equipment and my bass player, Jake, who we were tracking everything at his house. He knows this guy who's letting us use some gear, outboard gear, to try to do a mix on our own. If we can get it where I want it, I'd be happy because it's free.
Yeah, very cool.
Free mixing is better than paying for it. But
plus it's fun to tinker around with it yourself.
Right. And so I want to see if we can do it. If not, then it's probably going to go with like Matt Tuttle or something like that.
Yeah.
But all I have to say is once we are able to, we'll announce like a pre-order, because it's going to be a vinyl release. It's going to have the whole thing. Maybe CDs, maybe cassettes, vinyl at the minimum. So at some point we will release some sort of like pre-sale, which will be very important to the listener out there to buy like 1,000 of these.
Sure.
So I can afford to pay for if I need to pay for mixing and mastering, things like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So once we get to that,
all of them.
Yeah, buy everything. So yeah, once we get to that, we will, if you're not following Kick Snare Crash, please go follow us. Please do find us on Spotify or iMusic, whatever you stream music. Go find us. Go find Pacifico. Go find Dear Cavalier. Go find all these local
that band
bands.
Sucks.
But still go find them, just so you know how bad they suck.
Right. There's no self-deprecation on this show.
Never.
I still haven't done a Dear Cavalier episode, and I've had a bunch of friends be like, "When are you gonna do?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
Oh, you definitely need to. Yeah. I'll come and interview you.
You know what? Everyone said that. Like so many people were like, "We'll come do the interview." I'm like, I don't.
Well, you should get all of us together. We'll all just
all my
fire
friends,
rapid questions.
All my friends in the room.
Yeah,
it'll just be like a roast.
Yeah, let's do it.
My.
So there's going to be that. There's some other cool releases that are going to be coming out on. There's a Rose Blossom Punch release a vinyl that's coming out in July. That's fucking awesome. It got remixed and remastered, and the artwork was. I didn't have anything to do with the artwork on this one because I was just kind of too busy at the time to even do it. But also, the guy that Aaron had working on it, his name's Hunter. Fucking brilliant person, brilliant designer, brilliant videographer. Like he did an amazing job on just recreating the artwork from the original record, Ephemere.
Sure.
And I had something else I was just going to say. I'm losing my fucking train of thought today, man. It's what sucks about getting old, man. I'll have it here. I'll say one word and then it's gone.
Gone, man.
It's gone. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, I also want to, give some props out to some of the guys that I play with now. Like my keyboard player, Chris Sarasoli, he and I do a lot of shows together just as a duo. So I'll play my acoustic to sing and he'll play keys. Dude. And he's, he and I struck up a friendship first because he came to this. I was doing these things called We Write the Songs where I would just bring in different songwriters. We'd all have a set. It wasn't like in the round or like you go play 3 songs, you're done. No, it's like 45-minute sets, you know.
Cool.
And Chris had come to one of these shows and he didn't introduce himself to me that night. He sent me an email like the next day or so. So then we just started chatting. He was new to the area and moved in from Chicago.
Okay.
He's a little bit older than me, and so he's kind of semi-retired, but he's not that age. He just fell into a situation where he could kind of retire a little early.
Sure.
He does some like teaching, like keyboards and vocal lessons and things like that.
Gotcha.
But so we struck up a friendship, and then he told me early on he played keys. I'm like, well, hey, I want to incorporate keys to what Kick, Snare, Crash becomes.
Sure.
So we just kept, it took a little while for us to get there to where we finally started playing together, but we just were hanging out for a while. And then also we did the show where I kind of backed him up on a few of his songs and he backed me up on a few Kick, Snare, Crash songs because I was always calling it Kick, Snare, Crash regardless.
Yeah. I mean, same with like Dear Cav for me. It started as a solo thing.
Yeah, I don't want to put my name on
Everything I put out will always be under that, even if it's just me.
Yeah, so that's the way I am with Kick, Snare, Crash. So we did this show together, and then it was just like, and he was like, "Well, let's do this." And we both agreed. Let's do a Kick, Snare, Crash. Most of the time, we're going to play just duo.
Sure.
Because it's easy. His schedule. Yeah. He's got a really easy schedule. My schedule is it's not terrible, so we could find that logistically works for us.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I have Jake, who I mentioned earlier, who plays bass, and he's got an awesome band called Aura Layer 2 that's out of Greenville. It's like a stoner rock, fucking great band.
Cool.
But he's a super talented bass player, musician, and he's one engineering the record, and he's really kick-ass. Like he and I took a week off of work a couple weeks ago, and that's how we kind of got to where we are with the record, is just laying out everything that we could for our drummer to then come in and do his thing and then go back in and do all, fill in the gaps and things like that. Well, he's a fucking sick musician and just a sick person, man. I love him so much. One of the nicest people. You met Jake.
Yeah.
When we played here.
Yeah.
And you didn't get to meet Nathan Carlton when we played because he couldn't make that show. He was in Italy.
Gotcha.
So he's my other guitar player, and he's another one of the salt of the earth type people, and just you love him immediately when you meet him.
Gotcha.
And just a great musician and guitar player, and as well. And then our drummer, his name's Brandon Crook, and I watched Brandon grow up. He's like the baby of the band. He's like 23 or 24, maybe something like that. But I watched him grow up taking drum lessons at the same studio my youngest son, was taking lessons at. And then we were also friends. My wife and I are friends with his parents still. We always do stuff together. I watched him grow up and just become an amazing drummer.
That's cool.
And he has been and is still playing in a band called Sweet Spine, which they're local to Greenville, but they've been touring the country, doing really well. They had a song on TikTok that kind of like got them
right on.
some notoriety. I mean, enough notoriety to where they got a shout out from Lincoln Park a month ago or so.
That's wild.
I'm not name dropping.
No.
I'm not name dropping.
No.
But anyways, and his band's kind of going through some things right now. So, he's, it's none of my business or anybody else's business to kind of get into, but,
sure.
But he's a fucking amazing drummer and another one of those salt of the earth, amazing human beings. He's young, but he's very mature. He's not like a goofball kid.
Yeah.
He's got his head on his shoulders and knows what he wants to do. And in fact, he's probably going to move to LA in January. So I'm going to lose him before too long.
I mean, bummer for you, but good for him.
Yeah. He's going to go out there to try to do
cool
some
stuff.
drumming out there and do some things because he's been spending some time out there with Sweet Spine.
Sure.
So
I mean, drummers are easy to find.
Yeah. Well, actually, now you say that, my son Rocco, he's 15, just turned 15, but he's just started his own band. But he's been playing drums since he was 4, so he's a fucking beast.
So
I've got a drummer.
Yeah.
I just need him to get a little bit. I need him to be like 17 or 18 years
You need
old.
to be able to get into venues.
Yeah, I need him to be at least 18 so we can get in.
Yeah.
So I just need him to get a little bit older. But he'll probably, by that time, his band will probably be touring and taking over the world because he puts his mind to something and he fucking does it.
That's great.
So, but he's an amazing drummer. Something I'm not. This is very probably maybe it may be too soon to say something about this, but I'm going to say it anyways. Is Sean McCorkle, who's the bass player in Morales Forest, and then Matthew and I and Rocco are starting a little project. It will probably be only a recording thing that we do. Maybe eventually we might do like a show or something.
Sure.
We got a project that we're going to call, right now we're calling it Crybaby, but we're having to do some manipulating of how that is because there is at least one other band out there called Crybaby, but we're going to do something to make it so we can still use that name.
Crybaby.
All one word. We're going to do it now. Well, you could do that. But we were just going to put brackets around it or something silly. I don't know.
Sure.
But the other day I said Crybaby Cry, which maybe I think I like. If we throw that extra cry in there, maybe that's could be our way around it.
Yeah.
But
X Crybaby Cry X.
Yes, there you go. But so I mean, I don't want to put I'm not trying to put the cart before the horse on any of that project yet. We've already kind of written a couple things that we're thinking about working on.
That's cool though.
But yeah, I don't. There's no time frame of when or if that's going to happen. But it's just kind of a cool that Rocco's going to be involved with that.
Oh no, that's rad.
So yeah,
I look forward to hearing it when and if it.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
So.
Right on.
But yeah, I mean, but other than that, man, I'm just happy you felt that you wanted me to come be on.
Yeah,
this,
absolutely. I'm glad we got it worked out. It was a little bit of back and forth and scheduling, but we got here.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I think the timing, like I was telling you earlier, if we had done this, what we were supposed to do is like 3 or 4 weeks ago. There's certain information that I didn't have then.
Yeah,
that
you
I
wouldn't have
now
this EP
that,
to talk about the way you do now because you've been able to finish it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, man, I'm really glad you came. This new EP, I appreciate you sharing it with me the other day. It's rad.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to that being out. And then this stripped down acoustic version of Art Department Parties. Did I say it right?
Yep.
Yeah. That we'll cut to here in a second was fantastic. So
thank you. I appreciate that. It was fun. I enjoyed being here and I'm enjoying time and hanging out with you. And
yeah, good hangs, man.
Yeah.
Good hangs. And then I'm going to follow you back to South Carolina.
That's right.
After this.
That's right. Yeah. You're going to some show tonight.
I'm going to a show in Columbia.
Too bad your other friend's not going to be there because he's got a 90-year-old grandpa that he's got to go party with.
That's okay. That's okay.
We love you, Ben.
Yeah. It was pretty funny. I texted my friend Ben Walker, who is I also need to get on this show, and I was like, "Hey man, am I going to see at the show tonight?" And he's like, "No, it's Grandpa's 90th." I'm like,
They're having a rager tonight.
and I said, I said, he's had plenty. Come hang. But, no, it's cool. Family stuff is way more important.
Mm-hmm.
So
sure thing. Yeah. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate you having me, and it's good to get to know you.
Likewise. Yeah. It was good to spend a little bit of time not just talking about music and
talk about life.
Talk about life stuff.
The shit that's going on that we hate that we just still have to deal with. Adult shit.
Fuck adult shit.
Yeah,
that's why we do punk rock.
That's right. That's why I firmly believe, and last thing I'll rant on is, you look at people like Paul McCartney and, they're in their 80s and they're still playing music and they look like they're fucking in their 60s. I firmly believe it's because they didn't subscribe to the normal way of life. They've done what they wanted to do, how they wanted to do it. And it doesn't help that they've made a lot of fucking money by doing it. But also, they've just been able to do music for their whole life.
Yeah, and it's amazing.
And that's kept them young. It's kept their demeanor young. It's kept their physical appearances young. Even though all the shit that they put inside in their bodies back in those times, all the different drugs.
I've heard some stories.
Yeah, but I just firmly believe that that's why that they have lasted the way they've lasted.
Do the things that make you happy.
Yeah.
So
do what you want to do, how you want to do it.
I'll sidebar. I just said punk rock a minute ago, and I use punk rock as like a big umbrella.
Yeah.
Neither of our bands are actually.
We are not punk rock.
But
we have the punk rock
But
spirit.
It's punk rock ethos. That's where we came from.
Yeah.
So
very much.
it's still punk rock. I refer to playing shows or going to shows as punk rock.
Punk rock music's where I first found my identity.
Yeah, 100%.
So
I mean, and that's where this all grew from. Grew from.
Yep.
We just happen to be older now, and we've started writing different songs.
That's right.
But yeah, cool, man.
Well, man, not to sound too forward, but I love you, and I thank you for having me on here.
Yeah,
man.
absolutely. This has been great, and let's listen to this song.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool.
Art Department Parties.
Indeed. Here's Kick Snare Crash performing Art Department Parties.
That's it. Take one. Yes. All right. I'm not gonna do the count in. Art Department Parties. Countless inventories of your big brown eyes, talking up a star. Devils in the details. Pharmacy and retail. Are we recognized? Do we stand alone? Topography and tone. What got us here is not our way home. It's the color scheme that eats you up and spits you out. We've gotta work on the weekend. You know it's time to get on the road. My mind is stuck on the weekend. You know it's time to take back control. Yeah, we know it better when we grow. We take the fall. Another day to do it all again. We dream of better sleep, not losing out to bleed again. My mind is stuck on the weekend. You know it's time to get on the road. My mind is stuck on the weekend. You know it's time to take back control. Yeah, we know about creative control. Yeah, we know about it. Art designed in factories. Pixel pushing daydreams with our bloodshot eyes. I don't know why I'm getting so nervous. This is dumb. All right.
All these people are listening right now.
I know, man. Hundreds of listeners.
Yeah.